Finally, after mastering baking, I have baked the perfect loaf of bread. I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into this recipe, and now I can finally make and sell the perfect loaf of bread. Oh, hello. Sorry, we're closed. Hey, that's my bread. Come back here, thief. Hey, that person stole my bread. Oh, wow, look at this bread. So cheap. Hey, that's my bread. And mine too. What's your problem? Why are you gatekeeping bread? Look how cheap this is. Anyone can buy it now. But it's not their bread. It's all of ours that they're trying to sell as their own. Oh my god, it's not that big of a deal. Get over it. It's just making bread and baking more accessible to people who can't do it. Hey, here's a tip. If you can't bake bread, maybe practice. Spoiler alert, this isn't about bread. Hey guys, it's Cloudy. Welcome back to my channel. This video is a sort of continuation or part 2 of my last video about the struggle of intermediate artists. In that video, I briefly touch on how the rise of AI is making being an artist even more difficult, and that it's taking away opportunities for artists. Today's video is going to expand on that. I'm gonna rant a bit. I am so sick of seeing AI everywhere and seeing people glazing it so hard for no reason. Oh, but AI makes art accessible. No, it doesn't. Art is already accessible. It just takes time. It takes patience, and it takes dedication. AI art really truly showed me that art has life and soul in it because AI art is soulless. It's absolutely rampant. It's genuinely everywhere. Every single ad that you see, every single product picture, every single website or billboard or anything, God, every single thing is just AI. There is nothing that is actually real anymore. Everything is just AI. Even images that are supposed to be of real people, it's instead just this realistic AI that genuinely looks so uncanny. It's terrifying. AI art is especially even more rampant because now we have people using AI art to try and get away with doing commissions and stuff using AI. So now you're taking away opportunities already, but then the people who do get the opportunities are using AI for some reason. And it's like, you're actively making things difficult for people who are also going out of their way to pay artists and to commission artists to do things. Why are you using AI? So many companies are using AI instead of hiring an artist, and then you find someone who's actually commissioning and hiring artists, and then you use AI? No, stop doing that. If you're gonna say you're an artist, then real artists don't use AI. I already know that there's gonna be like 75 billion AI bros on this video being like, oh, actually, AI is good, or actually, it's this, or it's that. I don't care. I do not care what you have to say in defense of AI art. It, at its core, is unethical. AI art relies on data scraping, and it relies on taking art from actual artists that put their work out there. And it takes that and it Frankensteins it together. Except unlike the actual Frankenstein's monster, AI is not misunderstood. It's actually taking genuine opportunities away from people. It is soulless. It is taking away the point of art in the first place. A few weeks, or I think a few months ago, there was the whole thing with people using AI art to make themselves appear in the Studio Ghibli style, which goes against the ethos or the entire point of Studio Ghibli, and actually goes against what Haya Miyazaki says on AI. Quote, "I strongly feel that this is an insult to life itself." End quote. That is the stance of the very man that is the founder of Studio Ghibli. AI is trying to take away the sense of soul, of innovation, of artistic expression that has been so prevalent in humanity. Art is the most human expression of anything. Since the dawn of time, since humans have been able to create, art has been a thing. It is the most fundamental form of human expression on the planet. Do you think we're an idiot that a machine would ever be able to replicate what an actual human artist can do? It is a disservice to anyone who has ever considered themselves an artist. It is a disservice to the years and years and years and years of human history in which art has been a thing, in which art has actively caused innovation and evolution and modernization of society. Fundamentally, the structure and change of society and the greatest periods of enlightenment in history, in the history of humanity, have occurred when there was an explosion of art in all forms. You can't scroll through any social media without seeing either those AI text videos, without seeing an AI image or hearing an AI sound. You can't go on Pinterest or look for art inspiration or art references or trying to find actual humans as references for poses without just seeing tons and tons of AI. Like, I'm trying to use real life humans as reference so that I can improve my art. Why in the world am I being shown AI, something that's not even real, that in itself does not even know what the anatomy of this thing looks like? And here's the thing, right? AI doesn't just take opportunities away from people, it is actively stealing art and writings from artists and writers, and anyone that puts their work out there on the internet. I think a few days ago even, there was a huge thing where AO3, Archive of Our Own, was scrapped for data in order to feed generative AI, and that's caused so many authors to, restrict their works so that their works don't get scraped by AI. You're taking other people's work, other people's creativity, the effort that other people actually put in, and you're putting it into generative AI, and then it spits out this thing that doesn't have any work, any of the love, any of the human innovation and the human spirit within it. I will repeat this again. AI has single-handedly made me believe in the concept of a human soul because it shows me what something that is soulless looks like. Going back to the whole Studio Ghibli AI art thing, just draw it yourself or commission someone to do it. If you don't want to do either of those things, then just don't do it. Art is not a necessity, it is a luxury. It is something that people do, and it's obviously important, but it is not a necessity. It's something that people do or engage in. You don't need to participate with AI art. It is not something that you need to do. You can maybe make an argument for the use of AI in grammar checking, for example, even though I personally think that's kind of dicey, especially when you take into consideration the way that programs like Grammarly will just completely rewrite your work using AI, which I don't think is ethical. But art is meant to be a luxury, but it is also meant to be something that is creative. It is the most fundamental form of human expression, and AI is not meant to be used in art. I keep thinking back to that one quote, and I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially it says that I want AI to take care of my dishes and my house so that I can focus on art and creativity. Instead, we're left to focus on the work and actually having to do those things rather than being able to have time to focus on our hobbies. As we're advancing as a society, we should be looking towards doing more hobbies, doing more creative things, doing things more for the benefit of ourselves as people. Instead, we're just stuck in this cycle of work, and more work. If you look at anything, literally anything, not just AI art, but in terms of writing, right? Let's take novels, for example, things that are being published. AI is being used in them, and they do not make any sense. If you've ever seen those stories on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, I see them on YouTube and Instagram all the time. There are these novel-style stories that are completely written by AI, and I read one once, and they do not make any sense. Because it's written by AI, and there's a change of plot every 5 seconds. There's a change in first person to second person to third person, like every 3 sentences. There's huge plot inconsistencies. A 13-year-old can write better. My writing when I was 10 years old was better and is still better than all this AI stuff. A 12-year-old on fanfiction.net 10 years ago had significantly better writing than any AI platform does. You can't say that AI is there for writing and that it helps you with writing when the writing can't even be qualified as writing. It's the same thing, by the way, with movies and TV shows now. Do you know why there's such a decline of quality in TV shows and movies? It's because studios and execs are using AI to do the writing instead of hiring actual writers. The writer's strike literally just showed this to us and is blatantly showing us that these people, these companies, are more willing to just have AI do things and put out a shit product than actually pay people properly for their work and have actual writers do good quality writing. AI is constantly being shoved down your throat. Everywhere you turn, there is AI. And when I'm talking about AI in this context, I am talking about the generative AI art that exists. I am talking about the generative AI writing that exists. And I am talking about the way that companies are starting to use AI in place of actual people when those skills and those jobs are not meant to be done by an AI. So the AI does a terrible job of doing those tasks. This is just a very long rant about this, and I had to talk about it because genuinely this topic boils my blood. It pisses me off because unless you are a creative, you're not going to understand why creatives are so upset. And the more that I see people trying to defend AI or just glaze it all the damn time, the more I feel that there is just such a lack of creativity in the world. There's no empathy in the world. There's no understanding in the world. And people are not willing to actually give others the credit and the regard that they deserve for the work that they're putting in. There is so much commercialization and entitlement, not to sound like an old person, but because old people are the ones that are doing this as well, honestly. But there's so much now where people just expect everything to be at their fingertips. And so they do not think about the consequences of AI. They don't think about the consequences of what them asking AI for help, or they don't think about the consequence of using AI to make art. They don't think about the consequence of using AI to write. Companies and execs only care about money and they don't care about people. And a lot of people don't have the emotional or mental capacity to understand almost the consequences that actions have, not on just themselves, but also on other people. It's almost as if we're expected to just not care about other people. And a lot of people use the argument of like, oh, well, why shouldn't I be able to use AI? Like, what do I care about artists? I shouldn't have to explain to you why caring about other people or wanting to support other people is something that you should feel, because if you don't feel that way, then nothing that I can say is going to show you or make you change your mind. Sorry if I want to support actual real life people who are struggling and who actually need help and are actually good, decent human beings rather than money-hungry corporations who care more about products and their bottom line than they do about people. If you want to continue to ride hard for AI and for companies who use AI instead of hiring real people, then go ahead and do that. Just be prepared, because it's not going to be long before your job, whatever your field is outsourced to AI, and then you're going to be in the same position that artists are, except you're going to have the added embarrassment of being the people that were writing for AI, and then it took over your job. And I'm not wishing that on anyone, but I'm saying that that is the way that things are going to go, unfortunately, because of how rampant and widespread AI is. There's also something to be said, and this is kind of a tangent. I know this video is very ranty, but this topic makes me really mad. There's also something to be said about the perception of reality that people have with AI and how it's really breaking and messing with people's idea of what is real and not, especially with kids and the elderly. There's so many children and teenagers on the internet that don't have critical thinking and media literacy skills, and they're going online and they're seeing AI stuff, and they're seeing news that is AI generated, they're seeing images that are AI generated, and they're thinking that those things are real. And that's not good, because we as a society, especially in the United States, are going towards a very anti-intellectual way of thinking. And we're not putting emphasis on media literacy or being aware of online content or being cautious of the things that we see online. And that means that the kids that are seeing this AI stuff online are going to grow up with such a skewed perception of what is real and what is not. And they're going to believe things that are simply just not true. They're going to spread misinformation. And this is a great example of how propaganda and fear-mongering spreads through misinformation, and AI is one of the biggest sources of misinformation on the internet. So if you're a parent watching this and you have kids that are on the internet, make sure that you're careful with the kind of content they're consuming, because a lot of it is probably AI and a lot of it is misinformation. So either do something about that or make sure that your kid is aware of media literacy and is able to identify whether something is AI or not. And, school systems, at least in the US, are incredibly underfunded, and teachers can't even get students to put their names on their assignments. So teaching media literacy is going to be a struggle, but the only way that we're going to be able to progress forward as a society without being completely ruined with the rise of AI is if we're able to actually teach students and teach kids about critical thinking. And it's not happening right now. The rise of AI is genuinely contributing to the death of creativity, because AI was never meant to be part of the creative sphere. It's not meant for that, and it never should have been used for that. And for whatever reason it was, and now it's going to take away all the things that make creativity creative. And I know that making this video is not really going to do anything because it already exists, it's already very rampant, and there's only so much you can do to avoid it, but I had to talk about this because I am getting so tired of seeing it everywhere, and I know that other people also feel this way, so let this be a call from me to you that you are not alone. If you're also sick of AI, literally everyone else that still has a brain is also sick of AI. God, this video has gotten me so heated. I get so frustrated talking about this topic. I feel like sometimes I'm yelling into a void, but instead, you guys get to listen to my rants. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I know that this was very ranty, but you know what? I'm not gonna apologize because I needed to let this anger out somehow. And if I can spread the word on this epidemic that is AI, and I can talk about it and, cause a conversation to happen, then I am really happy that I'm making it. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. And if you didn't, still subscribe. I would appreciate it. My Ko-Fi, Instagram, and TikTok are all in the description box below. If you want to support the channel, feel free to check out my Ko-Fi. I also have channel memberships now, so it's the same benefits as the Ko-Fi, but it's just on YouTube if you don't want to go to Ko-Fi. Leave a comment or 3. I really love comments. I read each and every single one of them, and especially on this video. Leave a comment on your opinion. Leave a comment on what you think. I genuinely want to start a discussion. I want to start a conversation on just how rampant AI is and how frustrating it is. If you're a creative, give me your perspective. I want to hear you. Let's also use this as an opportunity to uplift each other, uplift artists, and uplift people who are actually exhibiting human creativity and innovation. Okay, that is everything for this video. I will see you all in my next one. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!